Welcome to Wine Soundtrack Australia. Listen to the passion with which producers narrate their winery and their world.
In 30 ounces, discover their stories, personalities and passions.
Hello friends and listeners of Wine Soundtrack. My name is Priscilla Hennica. I am here in the Wirra Wirra vineyards with Matt Della. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks Priscilla.
So tell Matt, where are you located?
So we are in McLaren Vale on Trott Road, and we've been here since 1894.
Wow. Tell me about what's special about McLaren Vale wines.
So I think McLaren Vale is particularly special because we're a maritime climate in South Australia. So that distinguishes us from Barossa Valley, which is a valley, and therefore more sheltered. So we're exposed to the maritime breezes and influences, and we have an incredible diversity of soils, from thousands of years old to millions of years old. On top of that, we have an incredible range of different aspects and geographies. So we have vineyards up to, say, 300 metres above sea level.
Wow. And tell me, what type of wine you made in McLaren here?
So at Wirra Wirra, we make Grenache from old vines. We make Cabernet Sauvigon, and we've been the main protagonists of Cabernet Sauvigon in McLaren Vale for several decades, and we make Shiraz, and then we bring in a little bit of fruit from our neighbouring Adelaide Hills to make white wine. So Adelaide Hills is much higher altitude, up around 500 metres. So we make Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling and Chardonnay from Adelaide Hills.
You told me before it's one of your favorite wines is Grenache. Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit more about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the saying of Manfred Krenkel from Sinquinon that Grenache delivers on what Pinot Noir promises. So if you like Pinot Noir, if you like sort of lighter bodied, aromatic, red fruited styles, then Grenache is fantastic for you. We have an incredible wealth of old Grenache vines in McLaren Vale, and we get these sort of beautiful, fresh, textural red wines with these kind of range of different red fruit characters, dried herb, floral characters. They're just beautiful aromatic reds.
Cool. And do you sell your wines overseas as well? How much you sell in Australia, and how much can we find outside of Australia?
Yeah, most of our wine stays in Australia, but we do ship quite a bit of wine overseas as well. So we ship quite a lot to the UK. We're looking to, me personally, I lived in the US for 8 years, so looking to kind of reboot the USA and throughout Asia, a little bit through mainland Europe, particularly the Scandinavian markets. So yeah, and New Zealand, my hometown. Yeah.
Matt, tell us your memory in the wine industry. Tell me like a very good story. When you were 15 years old, yeah? You have a very good memory to share with us.
Yeah, when I was very lucky growing up that we had a close family friend who kind of took me under his wing. He decided I needed civilizing when I was 15, and so for my 15th birthday he took me out for dinner, and we had a bottle of Bollinger. And I loved it so much, he bought me a book on champagne, and that's what kind of got me excited about wine.
So you drink wine for the first time when you were 15 years old?
Not for the first time, but I want to say I loved wine for the first time when I was 15 years old.
Do you want to tell us when did you drink the first sip of wine?
Oh, a little bit after my sister. So my sister was 3 years old, and we used to have these casks of wine in the fridge, my parents, and she helped herself and thought she was very grown up drinking casks of wine, and my parents found her very sick. I didn't get into wine at that age, but a little bit later. But I did taste my parents' wine. It wasn't great. It wasn't anything that got me excited until that first bottle of Bollinger when I was 15.
That's a very good story. Do you believe in a perfect variety?
No, I don't. I think we're just blessed by having such a rich diversity of grape varieties around the world. I think grape varieties have adapted to their climates. Even here in McLaren Vale, Grenache, for example, the Grenache from McLaren Vale tastes very different to Grenache from Chateauneuf-du-Pape or Santa Barbara County, or Sardinia. So I think that incredible kind of almost infinite diversity of grape variety and region is what makes wine so exciting. And it's that kind of Baskin Robbins, hundreds of flavors to explore. I think that's what's cool, rather than one particular variety.
So if you have 2 bottles here about Grenache from McLaren Vale from Wirra Wirra and a Grenache from France, for example, what's the main characteristics?
I think today, so Grenache from Wirra Wirra is going to be 100% Grenache, whereas that's unusual in McLaren Vale. In Chateauneuf-du-Pape, more typical in McLaren Vale. I think the other thing is that from Chateauneuf-du-Pape, there'll probably be heavier, richer style of wines. McLaren Vale today, we're really trying to express the perfume of Grenache and the aromatics. So you'll get far more aromatic, kind of lighter, delicate perfume style of Grenache from McLaren Vale today, which is probably counterintuitive to what most people would think between Old World and New World. But I guess, we Grenache from McLaren Vale probably embraces a lot of the philosophies of the Old World, which is all around kind of site expression and terroir and really capturing perfume and things, whereas Chateauneuf-du-Pape, which I love, is far more is very site expressive, but they're big, bold, powerful, age-worthy wines.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you so much for the explanation. Probably all of the listeners probably enjoy to know what's the difference between Australia, McLaren Vale, Grenache, and from France, like from Chateauneuf-du-Pape. Tell us a secret. Tell us about how much is your cellar most expensive bottle to have a cellar, I guess.
So McLaren Vale is the third place I've lived in recent years. So I was in Napa Valley until 2019, and then I was in New Zealand for almost 3 years, and then now I'm in McLaren Vale. So I actually have cellars still in Napa and New Zealand. Haven't really had much time to build one in McLaren Vale yet. I guess the wine that I'm looking forward to opening on my next big birthday would be my 2005 Magnum of Côte d'Estournel. I think that's going to be really exciting. Up in Napa, I have a big Barolo collection. I'm a big Barolo fan, and I think Barolo and McLaren Vale Grenache actually have a lot in common, around the aromatics and red fruitedness and kind of the alcoholic power, but with that freshness of acidity. So I think, I can see myself building a big McLaren Vale Grenache cellar here.
Oh, looking forward to taste these wines in the future. Please invite me.
Always, of course.
Matt, if I have a VIP person and drinking Wirra Wirra wines, could be in Australia, could be outside of Australia, in very good restaurants, and have paparazzis everywhere taking pictures of that person, can you imagine someone you'd like to see that person drinking Wirra Wirra wines? VIP famous person?
I think, Wirra Wirra comes from a rich heritage of eccentricity. So it was established in 1894 by Robert Strangways Wigley, who was kind of ostracised from his family. He was a state cricketer, and he disenfranchised his family by riding the pie cart that sits outside the Adelaide Opera, and attaching it to a donkey and riding it through town. And then he had to go and pay his fine to the town hall, and he rode into the town hall on his donkey. And then more recently, Greg Trott, was a complete eccentric. I look outside the window and we have a trebuchet, and we have a wall called Woodhenge, which is this kind of like oversized wall. So I think for me, Wirra Wirra is a place where big dreams come to reality, and I'm a dreamer. So I think anyone who's a dreamer like me is going to just love Wirra Wirra. Whether they're a celebrity dreamer or whether they're an everyday dreamer or, just every dreamer. Like
normal people like us.
Yeah.
So Matt is actually master of wine, having been doing that very hard studies about wine in one of the just 300 people around the world have this title, maybe a little bit more these days. Just over 300 people. Tell us, in your opinion, each vintage is a different story or not for McLaren Vale? Each vintage.
Oh, yeah. Every vintage is different. So we've had some really interesting vintages lately. 22 was 22, 21, 20. 2019 were all really different from each other. So 2019 was a lovely classic vintage. 2020, we had some sort of interesting, sort of bunch variations. So the wines are kind of sappier, and 2021 was another nice classic vintage. 2022, the wines are just really fresh and zingy. So yeah, they're all quite different, but I think that's kind of what makes wine interesting, right? And what we tend to do here at Wirra Wirra is, we have our wine called Church Block, which is sort of our classic Wirra Wirra wine. And with that wine, we try to we'll blend it to make sure that it tastes as similar from year to year as possible. And then we have our flagship wines. We have wines like Woodhenge and Woodhenge Shiraz, Absconder Grenache, the Angelus Cabernet Sauvigon, RSW Shiraz, and they should be very representative of their site, their variety, their vintage, and they will vary quite dramatically year to year.
And 2021 vintage, how was that?
Really good, yeah. Classic vintage wines are gorgeous, very balanced, and just beautifully site expressive and varietally expressive.
One of the best vintages around here, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. 21 is one to look out for. We just released our 21 Absconder, and it's just so aromatic and just leaps out of the glass. It's beautiful. That's our Grenache.
Cool. And a little bit about you now. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
So I was supposed to be a lawyer.
Did you start anything about it?
So my family were all, my grandfather was a very kind of well-respected lawyer in his area, and my uncle still is, and so I was supposed to follow in their footsteps, and I got the wine bug.
And then no laws studies anymore.
No.
Which style of wine is your favorite? white, red, or sparkling? Oh, even rosé.
Even, yeah.
I didn't know if you probably will choose rosé, but that's why I didn't mention for the first time.
Fortified. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love them all. I would say that I drink more red wine than anything else. I don't know. I just red wine is just so characterful, and I just love that kind of tannic grip that red wine has. When I get home from work, even in the heat of summer, even when I was living in Napa Valley, and here in McLaren Vale in those kind of 40-degree days, I still want a glass of red wine when I get home.
Wow, that's good. And then, what do you think about the paired rules? Do you drink red wine with fish or fish with what do you talk about? Red meat and fish and white. Do you really follow that rules?
So I'm very much a subscriber of the drink what you like, eat what you like theory. If there's any kind of pairing rule, for me it would be fat and salt is good. So all wines with potato chips are fantastic. But
that's a good tip for everyone.
Yeah. But if you like the food and you like the wine, you're going to be happy, right? And wine's there to meet. Wine brings happiness and joy. So
what do you recommend for people if they have church block in their hands? What do you recommend they eat with?
I recommend that they eat what they like to eat, but I think for church block, it's a wine for bringing people together. It's a wine for barbecues. It's a wine for sitting around the table with a burger. It's pizza. I think it's probably less about the food and more about the people. It's church block is a wine that brings people together.
About their wine experience, yeah.
Yeah, it's about that connectivity. We're living in a world today that's more and more disconnected, and we're hearing all about the metaverse and things. And I think wine brings the real verse. It brings people together around a dining table to talk and connect. And I think you see on social media, and there's so much kind of bickering and things, and if people actually just kind of came together over a glass of wine, there wouldn't be all this fighting.
That's true. Matt, how many glasses or bottles of wines do you need for actually see you drunk?
I'm famous for not getting drunk.
Really good. Tell the truth.
So I have a built-in off switch that saves me from from embarrassment. I'm very lucky that I was built that way, and probably wouldn't have survived in this industry if I wasn't.
If you drank 3 bottles, you still be happy and normal?
The good thing about me is I wouldn't drink 3 bottles. I probably start at 3/4 and stop at 3/4, and once I start to feel I love wine so much, and I love its flavor, I love its stories, I love its sense of place, and there comes I love the alcohol to a point, because it relaxes you and removes your inhibitions, but there gets to a point for me where I'm just quite happy, and I'll just stop.
So when you are not working, how do you spend your free time? I know you have a family, probably don't have free time.
Free time, yeah. I have a family, and we move countries 3 times in the last 3 years, so that's my hobby, clearly.
Moving countries in.
But I love hanging out with my two boys, and whatever they're doing, we're playing soccer, we're going to the beach. We live near the beach at the moment, and as riding our bikes and things, or just hanging out. I love it.
Do you like soccer? Oh my God. If I knew I could actually speak hours and hours about soccer with you.
Well, I wouldn't want you to see me play soccer, but yeah, I do enjoy it.
Is it your favorite sport?
No, my favorite sports are all snow sports, but soccer's just an easy one to grab a ball and go out with my 10-year-old boy and kick a ball around. He beats me now, unfortunately.
And favorite singer? Group?
Oh gosh, how can you choose a favorite? But the one thing that popped in my head is I'm taking my 10-year-old to the Guns N' Roses concert here on November the 29th, so that's going to be fun. Are they my favorite? They're one of my favorites.
Where did you go on your first date? Did you drink wine that night? Do you remember?
I remember my first date, yeah. My first date was actually breakfast.
Ooh, did you have a sparkling Shiraz?
I wish. Yeah, my first date, well, was it my first date? So when I met my now wife, it was at breakfast. So I'd been to a beer festival the day before, and I was due to meet up with friends who had been at the beer festival with me, but I hadn't spent enough time with. So I said, hey, let's go have breakfast. So we went and had breakfast, and another friend of mine was at the breakfast venue, and I was waiting for my friends to arrive, and so I sat with her and her friend, who is now my wife.
And no wine because it was breakfast.
No wine at breakfast.
No champagne.
Yeah. Not even champagne. Yeah, coffee. Lots of coffee. We love coffee at Wirra. We're a coffee culture here. We love coffee. We love the fresh produce of McLaren Vale. You come to Harry's Deli at Wirra, and we champion local providors, local brewers, local coffee roasters, local growers of produce and things. So we're a big coffee culture here at Wirra, and so I fit right in.
Coffee and wine, you think working together?
I think so. There's a lot of similarity. It's about bringing kind of liquid and solid together, a flavoured solid with a clear liquid together, and infusing that flavour. And there's just so many permutations. There's so much that you can do, from the growing of the beans to the making of the coffee, and there's so much you can do from the growing of the grapes to the making of the wine that influences the flavour and textures and things.
Complete the sentence. A table without wine is like?
Complete boredom.
Exists that situation, a table without wine? Probably not.
Not at night time, no. And yeah, so every evening I will always have wine at the table, and it's what brings people together. So a table without wine is strangers, and a table with wine is friends, I think.
In your opinion, what do you think people are going to drink in the future? Is still the same style, Shirazes, or then change it for Grenache? What do you see today?
Mm-hmm. So people are going to drink better and better wine. So what we're seeing in the world today is that people are drinking less beverage wine, and they're drinking wine less at parties. And there are a lot of other drinks that are coming on the market, pre-mixed cocktails and seltzers, etc., beers and different spirits and cocktails and things. So there's an incredible array of different alcoholic beverages to choose from, and so wine is really kind of finding its niche in the world, and that niche is very much at the dining table or what we call relax and unwind. So that's either a soothing drink after work, so cooking, drinking wine while you're cooking dinner. One of the biggest wine drinking occasions is just sitting in front of TV and drinking wine.
Netflix? Watching Netflix?
Yeah, that's right. Wine and Netflix. There you go. There's your pairing. We've finally found the perfect pairing for wine, Netflix. And also, watching TV, and also small gatherings, groups, small groups of friends gathering together in the lounge. And more people are drinking wine on those occasions. They're looking for wines that speak to them, wines with purpose, wines with point of view, wines that have a sense of place, wines that have purity and complexity and energy and things. So that's kind of where wine's going. That's what people will be drinking, is those wines with that speak of where they come.
Yeah, I guess the wine world is changing quite a bit lately, so probably we see more different wine drinks for the futures, and connecting a lot of your wine experiences, where the wine come from, etc. Tell us something, wine-making areas or wine regions. Have you traveled much around the world?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
You still have any wine regions it's in your dream, in your list?
Yeah, well, I'm a wine tragic, right? So I have travelled quite a lot, but the one wine region that I really want to go to that I haven't been to is Madeira.
Portugal.
Yeah. So I hear it's just
fortified wine. Is that true? You love fortified wine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fortified wines is my favourite wine stuff. But apparently, it's just an amazing place to go in and of itself, just to hang out and swim, eat, drink, and I love Madeira, and I just want to see it made. I think it's a fascinating winemaking process, and I want to see it made. And I think any place, it's tiny. They make very little wine, but Madeira's just had a significant role in history, particularly during the kind of colonial period in the United States. So I just want to go there, see it.
So be the next destination?
Well, I wouldn't say it'll be the next, but yeah.
One day.
Ways away, yeah. I'll wait for the next MW trip to Madeira.
Are you ready for play a game now?
No.
It's an easier one. So I will tell you some famous people, and then you're going to tell us which grape variety is matching with them.
Okay. Sure.
Ready?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
I'm sorry. So I have to. So this is like word association, right? Yeah. So you say Michael Jackson, I say the first grape variety that jumps.
Or even style of wine, could be sparkly red or white, and tell us why do you think Michael Jackson loved that style or that grape variety?
I'm going to go Cabernet Sauvignon, just because it's iconic and it's timeless.
And if you someone completely different of Michael Jackson, Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, all right. Yeah, so something a little bit more laid back, a little bit more, I'm going to go for Bob Marley. I'm going to go Grenache for Bob Marley. I think that's just kind of
relaxed.
It's relaxed. It's a little bit humble. Yeah,
I think he would like that.
I think Bob would have liked Grenache.
And Beyonce?
Beyonce. All right, something a little bit more show busy, a little bit more extroverted.
Something from Wirra Wirra?
Yeah, maybe Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Madonna?
Oh, Madonna. Okay.
From Wirra Wirra wines, which wine you going to offer to Madonna? Imagine Madonna is here with us, and you have one wine to give to her. Which wine you're gonna offer to her?
For Madonna, I don't think anything Wirra. I think Madonna would go like sherry or something, or port. Maybe port, like something that was fashionable and great, but it's now kind of been forgotten about.
I hope she's not listening to this podcast. What do you think about Michelle Obama?
Oh, amazing. Michelle Obama, it's got to be something very venerable, something with an amazing kind of core and character. So I'm going to say something along the lines of, I think I like Riesling for Michelle Obama because it's just confident who it is and it knows who it is and it doesn't care whether it's fashionable or not.
Donald Trump.
Probably a Trump winery, Virginia Viognier. Something flashy and showy with no substance.
You're getting good in this game.
I'm getting the hang of it.
Pablo Picasso.
Picasso?
Pablo Picasso.
Oh, right, cool. So something a little bit left of centre, maybe like an Acertico or something, or, something a little bit quirky. I guess it should be something Spanish, right? So maybe a Bilbao,
Quite different, quite unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your interview. Did you enjoy your interview?
I loved it. Yeah, it's good fun. Thank you.
Give us a vote from 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 11.
Ooh, are you honest?
I've enjoyed your visit.
Thank you very much. Would you like to remind us how to reach your cellar door, your website address?
Yeah, so we're at 255 Trott Road in McLaren Vale. It's pretty easy. You just drive along McMurtry Road and turn either left or right, depending on which way you're coming from, into Trott Road. We're right there. Wirra Wirra means nestled under the gum trees, and so just look for the gum trees, and here we are, nestled among them.
Thank you so much, Matt, for the time, and we love to know about we love to know how was the story about the Wirra. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Priscilla. Lovely to see you.
Thanks for listening to a new episode of Wine Soundtrack Australia. For details and updates, visit our website, winesoundtrack.com.